question. How can you remove the fear of going to hell in a Christian to let go of Jesus when he actually recognizes what you say about the seven mitzvot and oneness of God is correct, but the fear of being wrong makes him unable to let go?
Well, I could tell you from my experience that the fear that Christians have is crippling. It's palpable, it's strong, because I believe that it's been driven into their heads since the earliest days of their Christian walk. That if they renounce Jesus, they're going to burn in hell forever. So I would say a few things. Number one, I would say to relax because they're not in hell yet. That's number one. Now, I'll just share with you that this happens in the Jewish world. Um, you know, Unfortunately, about, I don't know, a significant number, I don't know the exact number, but let's say 70%, 80% of the Jewish world is secular, unfortunately. And these are the people that end up becoming converted to Christianity. And one of the things that I think influences them is that they were taught the conventional wisdom for so many Jewish people has always been, it doesn't make a difference what you believe as long as you're a good person. That's what so many Jewish people are raised on, this idea. And so they meet Christians who tell them that if you don't believe in Jesus, you're going to burn in hell. Their parents taught them that it doesn't make a difference what you believe as long as you're a good person. So they believe in their head they have nothing to lose. They say, I'll be a good person and I'll believe in Jesus and I have nothing to lose. What they don't realize is that from a Jewish perspective, to worship Jesus is idolatry and you will lose your soul. You're destroying your soul. So the idea that there's nothing to lose is a huge mistake. And so the Christian, I'm not talking about a Jewish person now, I'm talking about a Gentile who is questioning their faith and is leaning towards the Noahide path, but is afraid. They're terrified. What if I give up Jesus? Well, they should be equally afraid. What if they hold on to Jesus? Meaning that if worshiping a human being is an abhorrent to God, and if God despises idolatry, so they should be equally terrified of that. Now, how do you get over your fear? I think there's only one way, that we are fearful in life when we're not clear, when we're confused. And I think that the way to approach this, again, is calmly and is by trying to gain clarity. So what that would mean is for the person to 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 identify what are the issues that they're confused about. For example, am I confused about whether Jesus is the Messiah? Maybe I'm afraid of rejecting Jesus as the Messiah. I question it, I wonder. So now I'm afraid that even though I'm questioning his being the Messiah, I'm afraid that if I reject him, I will go to hell. So the way to get over that fear is by clarifying your belief, meaning that you focus on that question and you study it to the point where it becomes so clear to you that the fear will basically begin to evaporate. Because we have to believe that God gave us a brain for a reason. We have to believe that God did not give us a brain to confuse us. There is a Christian idea that, any doubts that come into your mind, those doubts must be coming from Satan. And so we begin to question our own thinking. But the reality is that this is a trap. It's a trap to be told that you shouldn't trust your own mind, especially when you've thought things out carefully. And it's not just your own mind, it's what you have come to realize is the truth of Scripture. So it's not that you have now your own personal opinion and your opinion is rejecting Jesus. No, it's not just you're going with your own mind. It's your thinking and your studying have come to the point where it's clear to you in the Bible, in God's revelation, that Jesus is not the Messiah. Then there's nothing to be afraid about in terms of no longer believing him as the Messiah. So that to me is the general cure for fear, is clarity. you know, one of the things on the Day of Atonement that Jewish people confess for, we have a whole list of confessions. And one of the things we confess for is something called Timhon Levav, confusion of the heart. It's a very, very terrible state to be in, to have our heart confused where we become paralyzed and we can't function. So again, I would say relax. You're not in hell at this point. And, you know, and then maybe even say to yourself, if I do go to hell, I'll be in good company, because think of all the incredible people that'll be there with me. But the point is that I wouldn't, that's just a joke, that's for you. But for the person that's really struggling with this, the answer is simple: study, learn, think, and come to clarity, come to a clear perspective on the issues that are confusing. And you have to make a list. What are those issues? And then study them and ask for help, ask for guidance. And, you know, I think that people can come to a clear decision. And my experience over the years is that when people become clear, the fear goes away.
Thank you. Good answer.